awaited. Our Shark Lake session is now beginning. We've been indicated that our jury have arrived. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we move to the Shark League. The shifting demographic landscape of India, with the elderly population projected to reach approximately 330 million by 250, or 20% of the total population, calls for a collective attention and innovative solutions. In response to this pressing need, the Association for Senior Living in India is organizing and pioneering the event, striving to foster the collaboration, spotlight innovative solutions, and address the unique challenges faced by our senior population. Innovation, scalability, and sustainability are the key drivers for successful ventures. Our members have assisted the government in setting up Sage Portal, and now we extend a heartfelt invitation to all the startups operating within the senior care sphere to participate in our event, to showcase their very innovative and make presentations to potential investors and organizations within the senior care sector. With those words, we would like to mention a very special thanks to Mr. Rajat Mehta, who is the chairman-elect Asli and MD and CEO Antara Senior Care, for driving the Shark League initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Rohit Kapoor and Dr. Rana Mehta, who has agreed to be the jurors of the Asli Shark League. Please put your hands together as I invite on stage Mr. Rohit Kapoor, the celebrity that we all have been waiting for. And we also thank Dr. Rana Mehta for joining us as the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin with our presentation. And I request Phil Mister to kindly join us onto the stage and make the presentation.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anup, the co-founder of AKI MedTech. A solution that we would like to present is India's first IoT-based pillbox for your medication management. So the problem is big. We've been hearing about a lot of the growing elderly population. But if you add to that the level of health insurance penetration, and even within that, a subset of that is the out-of-pockets that really people have to bear. The rise in non-communicable diseases, growing scary levels over the next 5 to 10 years predicted by different organizations. Now, when you look at all this, medication adherence is a challenge. Our research, our proprietary research done about 2 years ago, revealed that there is really no solution to remind people, alert them to take their meds on time. As simple as that. You're supposed to take a pill, you're supposed to take your medication, our parents are supposed to do it, but people forget very, very frequently. It has taken us about 2 years to build, test, and develop this solution in the market. The solution is a first of its kind smart pill box riding on the Wi-Fi protocol. We've also filed a patent, which is in the last stage, as we understand from the relevant government sources. The solution is quite simple, built to just deliver three aspects: is alert, remind, and notify. Alert and remind the users, could be an adult, it could be a senior, or it could be anybody who has a prescribed medication. He's supposed to take that by being alerted and reminded every 5 minutes, and the family member needs to be notified wherever they are. Sitting here, you could be notified real time whether your parents, grandparents are taking or have taken their medication on time. Even if you go abroad, small tweaks in our app can actually get you real time alerts on medication adherence. So ours is an app with a smart pill box, which is a weekly pill box. This is how it looks like. We are already in the market, launched 2 months ago. It's a weekly pill box, 7x3 configuration. Each compartment has an LED that alerts the user as to which compartment should you be taking the pills, so that you don't open the wrong lids or go to the wrong compartment and take your medication. So we have tried to make it as easy as possible, even for a senior. I'd like to believe once, with a simple setup, our solution is a fill it, shut it, forget it type of a thing. Only at the end of the week, any person will have to just refill the compartments and continue to take the medication on time, and they will get alerted. Any wrong compartment being open, anyone trying to open multiple compartments, there is a continuous notification going out to the caregiver or the family member, so they know that something wrong is likely to happen there. These are the broader features of it. Download our Pillmeister app, schedule the medication. The configuration is same as what is there in the pill box, and you're good to go. The notification is through a Wi-Fi network, and the reason is we tested out Bluetooth, we tested out a few other configurations, but real-time notifications happens only through a Wi-Fi based network, and the box is in a Wi-Fi network, and therefore we had to really go for it. It is also portable. If you want to take it outside your home, it's about less than 500 kilograms. There are current users who are taking it in their backpacks and carrying it to their offices so that they are not reminded, they are reminded continuously for it. No comparable product in India today. To protect our design, the design novelty, we've also filed a patent and we should be getting it shortly. There are comparable few products with different methods, but none with a real-time alert. Our biggest value proposition, it gives you a real-time alert whether parents or anyone at home or anyone dependent on medication in your family has taken their pills on time or have missed it. That is the single clear focused value proposition around which we built our entire solution. The use cases are multifold. Some of this are yet to be tested, and we have really started having conversations. Hospitals for patient support programs. Although it is interesting to share here with this audience that many hospitals we have reached out to are reluctant to use our pill box because they feel with the kind of investments they have made in hospitals, if patients stop coming, it will impact their business. I mean, that is the unusual input that we got from a few hospital chains. Nevertheless, we'd like to move forward with it. Pharma could be on both clinical research phase as well as bundling it with their pills and medications. Insurance, we are exploring this. We've just about started to exploring this. If you monitor a customer's medication adherence, then it gives you valuable data to decide whether the premium should go down or go up and whether you should honor the claim or not. Now, there's a regulatory element or an overhang to this, but we are still in the early stage of exploring this entire use case. NGOs, foundations, senior living, I mean, this pillbox with a one-time cost can be placed and monitored through a single dashboard that can be built for each of the senior living setup as such. So while our target segment, we built this solution keeping in mind the elderly or anyone with a medication or a prescription need, our early users, almost 50% of them are in the age group of 35 to 59. People with CVD, people who are pre-diabetics, diabetics, hypertension, BP, in the last 3-4 years, they are the early users of this. When we launched it on a soft basis and reached out to a number of people, the early users are surprisingly 35 to 59 years. So we'd like to believe that a lot of these people will continue to have challenges in their medication management because of their lifestyle challenges, career moves, move from the home directly on a daily basis. So these are all the daily challenges that they face and tend to forget taking their pills, and it can be disastrous. And we have seen in our research that there has been instances of death, 2 or 3 cases of death. There have been instances where they have been hospitalized. So a single motive also to build this solution is, if you can, avoid unnecessary hospitalization. Now, we cannot get up and say everybody can avoid hospitalization completely for whatever reasons, but something to mitigate unnecessary hospitalization is what we believe our solution is tailored for. Our GTM is pretty, this one we are exploring multiple partnerships, collaborations with different institutions. We've just recently appointed a South Zone based surgicals and medical device distributor who has a reach of over about 3,500 pharmacies, hospitals, and specialty clinics. So we are in conversations with people in West as well as Northern and Eastern India, along with Bangladesh. With a small tweak in our app, we can actually tailor it for anybody even working in, I mean, living in Bangladesh as such. So this is how we are trying to expand through both offline and online efforts. Right now it is 4,500 MRP, but the distributors are incentivized enough to build this solution in the market, penetrate the market in a quick manner. Here are the early testimonials. Our users range, as I said, from 35 to 45 years, going up to even 92 years. A gentleman uses, he's 92 years, he's one of the early users of Pillmeister, and he's been using this now for about 4 months, and he's absolutely hale and hearty, and he loves our product because it alerts him, reminds him when he has to take. His son goes across every week, the end of the week, and just replenishes the pills, and that's about it. It stays connected to the Wi-Fi. The thing has no breakage in the solution because there is also a 7 days rechargeable battery built into it. Even there is no power in the house, the device continues to alert and remind the users. Only when it gets back to a network, it sends out the notification. That is the only missing link in case there is no power. So we've built it for reliability. We have built it to make sure that 7 days it is uninterrupted taking medication on time. Uh, the TAM is big. I wouldn't go too much into the numbers. The market is very, very big, untapped. No big medical device company has really forayed into this, which is surprising. We hear that Philips globally has tried something with a dispensing model and withdrawn the product a few years ago, but trying to get back into this space. But we are surprised equally that no big brand really has. So we are, I would say, arguably the first bona fide brand in the smart pillbox category. Uh, Nobody's really addressed this market enough. So it is a huge opportunity to that extent. I'll skip this in the given interest of time. It is a huge scalable model that we have built. We are production ready. We can produce about 10,000 units a month. And our model is a completely asset-light model. Right now, the company consists of me and my co-founder. Our app is outsourced. Our production is outsourced to another firm. So absolutely very minimal fixed costs by which we have built this solution. And our investment so far has been under 30 lakhs to develop this in the last 2 years. Uh, Me and my co-founder come with about 25 plus years of industry experience. I've spent time in global organizations like Frost and Sullivan, Nielsen, OSG, which is a global healthcare analytics firm. So we understand a little bit of how to do business, and we've been there, invested in other businesses as well. But this has been a very passionate journey for the last 2 years as such. The important thing is uh, the R&D efforts. The same design, the network protocol can actually be applied for different. If I change the form factor of my device, I can use it for injectables, I can use it for eye drops, I can use it for any other application where you need to take those meds on time. So the way we have built the solution is the backbone is built on the technology is built on the Wi-Fi protocol, and the form factor can change into anything. In fact, we are in discussion with, I would say, a top 5 pharmaceutical company to develop a unique product for them for epilepsy patients. The proposal is under discussion at the moment. So they want to just keep bottles with syringes, 2 bottles with the syringe in the same box, but the box needs to be different, but the entire feature set remains the same: alert, remind, and notify the users. Our journey so far, as I said, the patent application was filed last year in September. We hope to get what we've been informed is sometime within the next 3 to 6 months. So that will protect similar copycats for using a Wi-Fi based this one. Wireless technology is something that around which we have built. We are in discussions with a few companies outside India as well who are in the telemedicine space, and they want to bundle our product, our solution as part of their go-to-market solution. As I said, this has been an investment less than 30 lakhs and a highly scalable model because fixed costs are very low in our entire model. Uh, yeah. So we will continue to pursue the B2B partnerships and collaborations to go to market and scale this solution. Focus on R&D and getting our brand strong in the market. So number of senior living solution providers, companies can actually benefit this because it's a value-added solution to their customers out there because one can monitor it. We can build dashboards of medication compliance for a complete site or a complete location. That is the added value that we bring. At the moment, it is just a single unit price, no recurring cost, and absolutely free app that you can download. We wanted to make it affordable, one time, easy to use, and deliver the value proposition for which we really built it. So, our belief, we are here to stop unnecessary hospitalizations, which we believe is the biggest pain area that we have come across. And this market is quite big. It's largely been untapped, and we are here to definitely make a difference in this market. In the interest of time, I'll just skip a few other slides. Happy to take any questions. Go ahead.
So I think it was a great presentation. I think in India and both the price component. Of course, 5,000. You'll obviously have to think. Sometimes even 5,000 is high, right? Can you make the product a service, right? It comes filled, because that makes it much easier. Because you may not have your son do that. That was one. The second component, I think, in India is the pharma companies, and I was with the head of one of the largest pharma companies. It's a question of compliance, right? I, being a medical doctor, I write antibiotics. After 2 days, the guy feels better and stops the antibiotics, right? That's why we have the highest antimicrobial resistance. So that's another, very strong imperative. And very interestingly, he told me it was not a medical problem. It's a social problem. You know why? Because your grandmother said medicines never did any good to anyone. So we got to live with it, right?
No, so first of all, as you realize, Rana and I are more dolphins than sharks, but uh, I think one question for you: why is it being even pitched in senior living? Why is it not a cross-generational need? And the reason I ask is, if I look at least my own anecdotal experience, and I also worked in healthcare for some period of time, people actually on chronic are more compliant because their life depends on it, right? It is the acute medication where people, as soon as they feel better, they stop, or it is that cuts across age groups. So do you think that's a much more wider opportunity? Is one question. Second is a suggestion. Is 4,500 is a lot, right? I don't see scale with this pricing. So can it be a more per usage kind of pricing, which is more frequent? Let's say it's a Gillette model where the razor is cheap, but you keep filling the blades. I think people tend to sort of pay that more easily than a one-time purchase, which is high. Third is, if there is a way you think this can be integrated with a chronic medication doctor and gets back channeled as a, because even from their own standpoint, they like to keep the patient with them as an individual doctor.
Yes.
Right? And if this can be back channeled, saying that this is a data which is coming back to you on compliance, and when the person meets the next time, apart from the HB1AC report or other reports, this is another factor which is available for the doctor to peruse. Then the doctor साहब ने कुछ बोल दिया तो वो बिकता आराम से. Right. So that's a question, suggestion, any reactions you have?
I'll answer your second question first. While the MRP is 4,500, since we appointed the distributors in medical, I'm sure you're aware of, want margins to actually sell. Give me volumes, 10,000 units, I'll bring down the cost to 2,000 bucks. We have built the model that way where the cost of goods sold can drop significantly because the reliance is on your PCB and microcontrollers is some of this, which we order. I mean, our main chip comes out of Taiwan. We have consciously avoided China. We have our own mold for the plastic thing, which is quite, I would say, cost effective. So we can bring down the cost if the volumes really go up. That's why in one of the slides I mentioned, the cost of goods sold can actually fall by about 25-30% with higher volumes. So cost is really not a factor. Right now, my distributor pricing is about 2,250. So if that is there in the open market, then we can definitely try to optimize there. From the point of view of senior living, it is one of these segments because let's say a senior living project, someone building a senior living, let's say location, has about 100, 500,000 apartments. Now, if it is deployed like an IoT device and then a single team of doctors can actually monitor the medication. And more importantly, anyone outside, NRIs can actually monitor on their app sitting anywhere in the world. So I don't think it is a big constraint that way for this. We have put it up on our website. Today, anybody wants to buy, you can go on pillmeister.com and buy it. I mean, we're both iOS and Google Android enabled app. So it can be to anybody who has a need for a medication. And the reason the pricing is a little on the higher side is also because we've qualified as, because this is a Wi-Fi driven thing. So you need to have a Wi-Fi at home if you want real time. Otherwise, it's honestly a dabba. I wouldn't buy it myself. Without the real time notification, I mean, you would not buy this box. As simple as that. That is the biggest value out there. So you need to have a Wi-Fi at home. So if you funnel it down and say how many households, maybe 5, 6, I mean, I could just give a cross-pollinated thing that how many people have a Netflix, Amazon, and other connections at home. That would be my initial target audience to build this. Now, as the broadband penetration grows, I mean, this can really grow anywhere.
Curious, why does it need Wi-Fi? Why not just a 4G network or something?
You can have it on your hotspot, but it is not very reliable. We have tested it on a normal mobile hotspot. You can configure it, but it is not as reliable as well because the hotspot keeps going off and on. We have also tested it with the Bluetooth-based thing, but the device and the phone needs to be near to send out a notification. Now that defeats the purpose because the family member could be anywhere else. I am here, my mother is in Bangalore. I want to know whether she has taken the medication. So the app is on my phone. So as per the scheduled medication, I can see it real time. So that is the single most barrier for us to build other solutions. Super, thank you. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. Hello. Excuse me, I have a question.
That was the presentation by PillMeister. May I now invite members from Ripple to kindly join us onto the stage and make their presentation. We are being joined by Ripple. Thank you.
I'm all right. Yeah. So, a fall which you all just witnessed is a sad reality of more than 300 million elderly worldwide. Thank you. Thank you. So, a fall which you all just witnessed is a sad reality of more than 300 million elderly worldwide. As per WHO, the global elderly population will reach to 2 billion by year 2050, and unfortunately, 1/3 of them will fall at least once in a year. Falls results in longer hospitalization, permanent disability, and even painful death. One of the sinister consequences of a fall is a serious hip fracture, which is also the costliest osteoporotic fracture in the entire healthcare system. The problem is so atrocious that 60% of elderly people who has an hip injury are completely or partially dependent on their caregivers. 50% are completely dependent on their caregivers, even to get out of the bed or go to washroom. And it's sad that 40% of them die within 6 to 8 months of hip injury. So to solve this atrocious problem, which is a global problem, growing problem, we at Ripple Healthcare are building a smart wearable device which can be worn across the waist and has protective airbag-based cushion at the sides. These cushions are in the deflated state when the person is sitting or lying, that is resting state. As soon as the elderly wearer gets up, the sensors in the device automatically predetermines the risk of fall and inflates the cushion under a second and keeps it inflated if an elderly person has fall to protect them. The device is also IoT enabled, making it accessible to send notification to caregiver in case of a fall. I am thrilled to introduce Hip Pro Plus, which is ultra comfortable, super lightweight device, can be easily donned and off by any elderly person in less than 15 seconds. All the electronic and hardware are completely sealed in an IP67 dated casing, making it water, dust, and sweat resistant. We have also added a unique torchlight feature. This feature enables and empowers the elderly person to safely navigate to washroom during night, as 70% of the falls are seen during that time. Apart from offering effective protection, the device also tracks, remotely monitors important health parameters such as their gait, balance, and activity. And using this data into our AI and ML model, we are able to predict the future risk of fall. And this is a game-changing technology because once we understand the risk of fall, necessary interventions can be taken to prevent them from falling in the first place itself. Also, with this data, we are able to predict if there any progression of the cognitive declinement or not. To understand the problem to its core, we regularly and constantly do stakeholder interaction. Here we interact with hip fracture, history of fall, frail, cognitively impaired patients, orthopedicians, geriatricians, physiotherapists, and give them the product and understand the real problem and take the valuable feedback from them and use this feedback as the guiding light for a product development. Basically, we are co-creating with our elderly people. On comparing HipPro Plus, we are 3x lighter, have all the necessary value-added features as per the Western competitors, have the similar force attenuation capability as per the gold standard. As we are co-creating with elderly people, it is highly acceptable, has high acceptance with them, has no recurring cost whatsoever. We are the first active-based product which addresses fear of fall, which is a bigger problem than an actual fall, as we already know, and is affordable to an Indian elderly person. To achieve all of this, a strong, credible team is required. We are a group of young, dynamic, interdisciplinary team of doctors, engineers, designers, entrepreneurs, coming together with a singular vision to successfully commercialize the product. Also, I'm a graduate from AIIMS and IIT Delhi, so we have a stalwarts in the field like Professor Malhotra, Professor Singh from AIIMS New Delhi, who are helping in the clinical and regulatory. Also in the product development side, we have Professor Harpal and Dr. Deepak, who are helping in the product development cycle. From the start of the presentation, from the fall which I did, till now, about 100 Indian elderly has already had a fall. As we speak, 10 to 12 elderly people are rushing to hospital right now. India is a home to about 15 crore elderly population, and as per WHO, every third elderly person falls. That is 5 crore elderly people are falling every year. And more than 1 crore are hospitalized due to a serious life-threatening injury. In 2018, 15 lakh hip surgeries were performed, and we are going to target this, market. Our initial strategy would be to approach hospitals, physiotherapy centers, old age homes, where we already have plethora of hip fracture, history of fall, frail, cognitively impaired patients, basically our target customers. Here they will be recommended by doctors such as orthopedicians, geriatricians, as Mr. Rohit also said, doctor bolega to bikega. Second, once we have a good presence in this space, we'll be partnering with Seniority.in, e-commerce platforms, and pharmaceutical giants. As this being a class 1 medical device, it can be sold over the counter. Here we'll be using digital marketing where the caregivers like you and me can buy it for elderly parents and grandparents. And as the intent is to go global, we'll be partnering with global distributors and insurance players so that they can buy it in bulk for their premium payers, and it will be a win-win-win situation for all the three. That is Ripple Healthcare, elderly people, and insurance people. We have a direct sales model, initially B2B and then B2B2C, and we'll be having a thick net margin of 35% on direct sales. Plus, we'll be having a freemium model where, because of the AI, we'll be giving them deeper insights about their health, which we can later on charge. Currently, we are in the MVP stage. It's a class 1 medical device. We have already partnered with 5 tertiary hospitals to do clinical trials with a cohort of about 200 patients, including AIIMS New Delhi, starting from next month. Currently, we are seeking to close our seed round, that is about $500,000, out of which we have already secured 2.6 CR in both non-dilutive and dilutive funding. This funding will help us to complete our whole product development, pilot sales, getting the necessary regulatory approvals, making us ready to start global sales. Till date, achievement was made possible thanks to the various government schemes, which we have been recipient of all the schemes available at this stage. We have been able to complete our product development with the help of the non-dilutive funding, that is grants, and we have a runway of about 10 months. We are seeking funding so that we can accelerate the process and we can save a lot of elderly people. For a co-investor, pre-going global, we'll be doing our Series A round where the co-investor can take an exit, or during our Series B round where we'll be scaling up, and we plan to do an IPO by 2030 as the intent is to have multiple medtech products specifically for elderly people, and with this vision, we have started this company. So at last, I would like to say that what we are building is not just an orthopedic intervention, but a catalyst that will enable and empower all the senior citizens to become more Atmanirbhar. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. And I think, I read somewhere that if you're above 85, your chances of dying from cancer are less, but dying from a hip fracture are much more because you probably, lived that. Uh, so one of the things is, who's your customer here at the end? Who are you selling to?
So initially we'll be selling to hip fracture already patients who already had a fall. So history of fall in people who already had a hip fracture. Because to sell them, we don't have to tell the need of the problem or the product. Why do you want to wear this product? They already are like, give me. It's a pulling factor from them. And once we have a good presence, because that market already has 15 lakh every year and the number is increasing. So already there's a huge market initially. Once we have a good presence in there, awareness is there, then we'll be approaching to preventive healthcare people who are at a risk of fall, didn't had a fall yet, then we'll be selling it to them. So this is the strategy that we are using.
And you primarily think this is a better B2C product or a better B2B product or a B2 D2C product? Yeah.
So initially it will be B2B because as you said, doctor bolega to bikega. Once we have a good presence, then it will be a B2C. Also, I would take a moment to share that we are one of the shortlisted shadow for the Shark Tank India season 3. So if we are able to come on national television, then it will become, the strategy will change to from B2B to B2C, because whole India will get to know about the product. They will be coming, as the trend is there, they will be coming to our website, they will be trying to order. So then the strategy should change. So initially we'll be going with B2B, where the doctors will be prescribing to patients, you need to wear.
And look, India is a sort of slightly weak market on quality certifications, right? Of these products. How do you self-assure the quality here? Because you're almost like telling someone to be more aggressive in their posture and lifestyle than they usually will be.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I don't have this, I'll be far more careful. I'll like to have somebody around me as an elder. Once I have this, the sense of freedom increases, sense of comfort increases, which is the purpose.
Yes.
So the onus and burden on quality just becomes not 2x but 5x, right? How do you think about that aspect? What are the controls you have to ensure that the product delivers like a phenomenally high percentage of success?
So being a class A device still will be doing all the clinical and regulatory approvals. So in that necessary certification, there is the whole series of tests that we need to do. Then only we'll be getting certification. The intent is to go global, to compete with the Western competitors at a good price.
So just when car seat belts came in the
Yes.
world first time, it increased average car speeds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It did.
Yes.
So now, just think about that. I'm just leaving it with you
Sure,
because that's a it's a wonderful product, but it just needs to measure up to a very high bar on quality,
Yeah.
because you are assuring someone the ability to be much more free than they will be otherwise, which is the intended purpose, as I said. That's my only. Don't cut corners in this product.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I think one of the biggest problems is someone wearing it has a fracture, right? And that goes viral.
Yeah.
It could close your business. So I think I agree with Rohit. It has a very, it has to succeed every time, right? If I wore it.
So definitely we cannot be claiming that it is going to protect them from every kind of hip fracture. It is not with wearing this, they will not get hip fractured if they fall, because no company can claim this. But definitely from serious, if there is nothing is better than something. Sorry, something is better than nothing.
So I think the messaging needs to be right?
Yes.
It's, like he said the whole thing about, seat belts.
Yeah.
When they put seat belts, obviously the mortality went. But it was a marginal effect because speeds went up and the crashes were worse,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you're back to, ground zero.
Yeah, I just will be careful about saying something is better than nothing,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Right. That's a very dangerous statement,
Yeah,
right?
especially to a 75-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So I think prepare a little better for the Shark Tank pitch.
Sure,
Best of luck. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions from audience? I would be happy to answer. Yes, I think maybe not. I cannot take. Okay. Sure. Maybe we can connect outside. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
And
you
next
so
time,
much.
just look after your hip. You gave us a, cardiac arrest, right? So that could have been avoided.
On that lighter note, thank you so much, Ripple, for that wonderful presentation. May we now request second innings to make their presentation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I am Madhuri Akilla from Second Innings House, Hyderabad. I'm here to present about what exactly we do. Second Innings is a daycare cum activity center for the senior citizens. And daycare, as we know, we have been addressing these problems since morning, and like absence of senior recreational spaces, increased need of physical and medical assistance for the seniors, and social isolation, how to avoid that. See, we see seniors sitting at home and watching TV for most of the time and not doing any other activities. But to keep them engaged, we have started this second innings. Just like how we send our kids to a creche or a play school, they can come in the morning, spend their day during the day, and we engage them in different activities. Like similar to a play school, we have a timetable for them, and starting from yoga, meditation till other activities. Like we also keep them engaged and through focus on their mobility through occupational therapy sessions and all that. And then they can go back home and spend the rest of the evening with their family members. Yeah, so we develop strong communities through this, and we address the ethnic and cultural harmony in them and promoting and maintaining ability to self-care. Apart from this, we also give them sessions like how to take care of themselves. We have doctor visits, and all these are taken care of. Apart from daycare, we also have an assisted living care facility. Right now, we are addressing only to few of them because this is started 1.5 years back, and we only have a 8-bedded facility in Hyderabad, and we are planning to expand it to a bigger space shortly. Yeah, this is our mission and vision. Yeah, we have been hearing about this since morning, so I don't want to spend much time on this. So we have membership plans which are catering to monthly, quarterly, and annual memberships. Like, for example, if they are choosing monthly membership, we give them an activity period of 15 days. So they are not school-going children that they need to come every day, getting up in the morning and come to a school-like thing. So they can choose their days in the a period of 1 month, and we give them a chance to spend their time. That is 120 hours of active time at second innings. So like that, similarly, quarterly and annual. And during that period, that is when they enroll for quarterly and annual, we also engage them in teaching them different courses also. Like if there are ladies, we can teach them crochet or art workshop or something like that. Some small certificate courses are also taught to them. Yeah, this is the trends that are happening in the global space and Indian population. Yeah, these are the revenue models what we are targeting for. That is daycare, leisure and weekend activities, emergency and special healthcare services like post-hospitalization care, and then nursing care, pick-up and drop facilities for them, meal services, as well as delivery services. We keep conducting events for them, like the events are conducted not only for our residents, but it's open for outsiders also to join, like Antakshari events, musical evenings, art workshops, picnics, and movie outings, like that. So these are our value proposition statements. Very affordable, and all the outdoor activities are also included. Access to healthcare facilities, doctor visits on call, social activities at leisure. The children also need not worry that they are not giving much time to their elderly parents because they are all occupied here, and every, like we say, apna bhi time aayega, and why should boys have all the fun? Why should kids have all the fun? Here elders also can have fun. So we are right now in phase 1, started off in 2021, but due to COVID third phase, we couldn't start our operations till 22 March. And now we are 1.5 years old. And then we have already reached 30 plus enrollments so far for assisted living and around 10 for daycare. So we are doing aggressive marketing on social media and PR and other social engaging activities. We are coming up with a new event in January, which is going to be a family car rally in Hyderabad, wherein the criteria is that in each car there has to be one senior citizen. It's a time, speed, distance rally happening in January. So like that, we keep conducting events, very unique and engaging activities for the seniors. These are our projected financials. Yeah, our ask is 40 lakhs, around 40 lakhs. Which will be utilized in this segments. Yeah, that's my husband and myself, and I'm the only person managing this and running this. He's only a sleeping partner. These are our advisory board members. Thank you. Any questions, please?
Thank you. So just one thought, so why did you call it second innings, right? I probably want to only play one innings. I want to play the World Cup, right, and give my best. But I'm not even sure in my next life I'll come back as a human being. Don't you think it's a bit condescending saying this is a second innings?
There are two reasons why I call this as second innings. First is it's a second innings for the seniors because they are living their second childhood. So that's one reason. And this is second innings for me as an entrepreneur. I was into educational industry earlier. So we were running a chain of preschools. We sold the brand in 2019. So this is my second innings too.
Ma'am, you have a lot of experience already. I just have one question for you, saying this model is a mix of healthcare and for what I call social activities, wellness. Is that something you've thought through, saying because healthcare there's already so many players who are doing it in some shape or form, well or otherwise. Is there a play just for social activities plus wellness in a local community center kind of model, which is much more accessible, where people can go and spend a few hours? There's always some activity going on, right? Do you think mixing it with healthcare complicates it, gives it a certain tinge of saying only if I need healthcare I go there versus not? Have you
So first thing is I don't call this as in healthcare. This is
But your packages
healthcare is
were
a
all like
part
that.
of-
Your packages were all healthcare centric. If you look at your slide,
Yes.
we're all full of like healthcare kind of, which is fine. I'm just asking like, what are the choice you're making, if any? Yeah.
So healthcare is a part of it. Socially engaging them and involving them in different activities is the primary idea of it. And the second thing why I'm calling this as such is because if you believe or don't believe, people still are having that social stigma of sending their parents to an assisted living facility or an old age home kind of a thing. So if it is a daycare center, they don't mind because they also can be confidently send that we are giving them time through this way. So that they are also not bored at home and we are also satisfied that they're coming back home to us.
You need a strong manager for this center, right?
Because if you got to replicate and scale, I think you obviously got to get the model right? How do you plan to replicate and scale this business?
So replicate in the sense, start many centers or using my experience as a franchisor and giving franchisees of such centers across different cities. And one more idea is to take second innings to different gated communities.
Okay.
If not establish a center, I can take this to different gated communities and organize events at their premises itself. That's one of the ideas.
That's a captive population there. Right. Great. Thank you.
Thank Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next presentation would be online. It's a presentation by Métis and Maybe Connect Online. I would request the organizing member to kindly connect with our next presenter, that is Métis. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a presentation by Second Innings, and now we move to our next presentation by Métis, who are going to join us online.
So hi, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so shall I start now?
Right. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So thank you everyone. This is Manoj Maiti from Kolkata. So I'm the brand name and the company name is Nescare Texas Private Limited. And as you all are aware that I'm into elderly care services industry. We intend to provide emergency and other livelihood services to the lonely elderly people with the help of technology as well as with a human touch. So human touch, by human touch, I want to mean one thing like our gang of ex-defense people. So okay, so this is the mastermind, or rather, this is the core team, strategic team. Two co-founders, Manoj Maiti, myself, and Saurabh Bhattaji. We both actually are serial entrepreneur as well. We both worked in various corporates for approximately 17 to 20 years, and then we started doing our own entrepreneurship. We are joined by Blossom Kanjilal. She's the HR director, and she's ex-MRSs. We are also having on board as Dr. Anindo Bhattaji. He's the professor, associate professor for the Vaccine University. We have, we have strategic team members like Rakesh Gupta, who is IIM Calcutta ex-alumni, and having more than 30 years of various senior profile corporate exposure. Also, we are having Major General Arup Sen, retired Major General Arup Sen on board. These are the people who are in strategic team members, like helping us, starting from Major General Doctor to our own doctor are on board as a honorary board members. These are the problem statement, which I guess everyone, since we are talking about the elderly care, everybody is aware that medical emergency, health monitoring, loneliness, safety, and daily hassles. All these are the 5 pillars of the problem of the elderly people, right? So we are just now trying to provide solutions for these against these 5 pillars. So now the question is, what exactly we are doing? It's not a kind of an assisted living or any other living kind of thing. We are providing services to the place of elderly people. Now, what exactly we are providing? The first of all, we are providing a self-help mobile application, right? So this is irrespective of geographic location, the children as well as anyone can access this mobile application and get the services. We have that in our dedicated medical records maintenance in our warehouse, and also we are providing all the services that the person visiting to the elderly people house for their the services and everything. There's the ex-defense people. We are providing solution for the mental well-being, which is called emotional companionship and everything. We so device which is enabled with geofencing, your fall detection, and other SOS button also there, so that that automated call generates and it lands up with the related relevant care managers and their NO care. Also, we are providing their home health care services, like providing care givers and other medical surgical equipments and everything. There's a market opportunity. I'm not talking much about this. The competition landscape is Umoha is there, Tribeca Care and Support Elders, which is the major competition for Métis. So I'm used with the device which we are using and which are giving to the elderly people is enabled with geofencing. The live movement tracking is there. We can measure the heart rate, also fall detection, enabled with panic attack button and everything. This is the business model as of now. Very simple business model, subscription model, and also for the registered members, we are getting some operations revenue. So revenue stream is from two pillars. One is subscription, another is operations revenue. So our subscription starts from 50,000 to 85,000 for a year. Mota, these are the GTM strategy. NRI, we get we get the maximum references from NRI people because our right? So mostly our children are is NRI. So this is a gross strategy, GTM strategy. So some NRI children references, digital promotion, BTL activities, what we are doing. In a very short, not a very short span of time, but yes, with the in last 2.5 years, we are present in West Bengal, Jharkhand, and very recently we have launched in Odisha. Our pilot is going on in Delhi, and will be coming soon in Dehradun, Hyderabad, Bangalore. All these cities are planned. Last year, we closed at approximately 1 CR revenue. This year, till now, we are at 62 lakhs. Monthly average 15 packages we are booking, and with the service operation revenue is approximately 5 lakhs per month. The next 3 years projection is approximately, it looks like we'll be closing around 2 CR this year, 3.23 next year, and projected 5 CR will be the third year plan. But the point being, with such a model, heavily manned model, the scalability is very, very staggered. So the platform which we are planning to shift and switch, and this automation is going to happen in two ways. Like it should be something like that. Any elderly people, member, or who can access our services within a minute. Let's say if any senior person is looking for a caregiver services or could be getting it within 10 minutes of 10 minutes from the time he is looking into it. So we are developing one platform. It will be fully and 100% automated, where any kind of services, starting from you're providing ex-defense people services, or maybe a caregiver, or maybe any kind of other services, nurses services, which will be instantaneously available using our platform. So this will be looking like this, like if I'm talking about one example, nurse. If you look for nurse, you just click on it, and you will be able to see the nurse in the periphery. Okay, so which will be rates and ratings and everything will be given over there, so that you can choose accordingly and you can place that order, and it will be fully automated. And you can also see the movement of the nurse at what time that he or she is reaching. Parallelly, you can do the same thing for the care managers, who is supposedly a defense guy. You need a care manager to see a doctor, maybe to accompany you. You just go to our platform, you just check into there, and you can have the services within maybe a minutes. So that is the entire objective. So our entire platform is switching from heavy manned kind of platform. It's a kind of automation which is going to happen very shortly. So we have already initiated. So this is going to be our next set of innovation and revolution. Captable, as on date, we are infused by Bank of Baroda Bank, and one HNI investment has happened. So this is how our Captable looks like. Till now, the founders are having 80% of equity. We are raising around 5 CR, which will be spent majorly into technology and manpower, and advertisement is also a part of this. So the fund usage planning has been shown over there, and pre-money valuation we have kept it at 20 CR. As I have already said that we have been infused by Bank of Baroda and one HNI investment. Very recently, we have been selected as the top startup by KEET TPI. And also in Eastern India, we have been felicitated by IIT Guwahati as the most emerging startup in Eastern India. Also, we have been graduated from AIC BMTech, and also we have been featured in Tata Social Entrepreneurship as a top 20 startup in Eastern India. So that's it from my side.
Thank you. So, what do you think are the three biggest, roadblocks for you to grow from, 1 crore to 100 crores?
Sir, I couldn't hear anything. Your voice is cracking.
I said, what are the three roadblocks for you to grow from 1 crore to 100 crores?
Can you please, sir, repeat, because it's just not at all audible. Shall I do one thing? Let me switch off my video. Can you please repeat once, sir?
Can you put it in the chat box? One to 100.
Okay. So I found, yeah, I got your question, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. See, we found one thing, like in an Indian mentality kind of thing, like the people, if you directly reach out to the elderly people, so they will say, even though the person is at 85, he will say that I'm absolutely fine. He is not ready to spend money for to take any kind of outside services, right? So they always feel that they are keeping well, they are fine, and since one set of mentality is something like that, they retired maybe 20 years back. At that time, the valuation of that money, whatever he was earning, and the current valuation for the packages is much more higher, right? So that is why they feel that that pricing is again a big issue in terms of getting up packages for them. So always they feel I'm fine, and I'm very much capable of doing my things. So that is one challenge what we find, and second is that reaching out to the that is the first major challenge, and second is that reaching out to the right set of right set of customers, or maybe the right set of elderly people, because they are very less active in the social media or digital platform nowadays. We understand that digital platform is the much more penetration much more happens, but they are not so active in digital platform. So that, but that percentage is going very rapidly high. So that those are the things I find challenges for this 1 year
Great.
200.
No, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out. Unfortunately, we just run out of time, but wish you the very best and hope it's an uneventful journey to 100 crores. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was our last presentation. May I now request the CEO of the food delivery and dine-out businesses, Swiggy, Mr. Rohit Kapoor, to kindly share his thoughts.
Good evening. Thank you for having me over. I did not plan for this part, but I have been in some shape or form associated with the senior living space for now 7-8 years or maybe more. I was there when Antara Senior Living groundbreaking happened in Dehradun, in that ceremony. So and before that, debating all kinds of model. So I'm not going to the business, because I can see here a lot of people are seniors, a lot of people want to serve seniors, some people are just curious. That's the mix here. So let me talk about what senior living should not be and should be, right? As a endeavor, forget business for a second. Okay. I think and I'm making, in any conversation, every statement you make can be debated. So some of this is generalization. So I'm asking to be excused for those generalizations upfront. Don't take offense, right? I think we have always in our country treated seniors as either a responsibility or a burden, very rarely a source of joy, right? Very rarely. And they also if I look at my previous generation, my parents, my grandparents, they also always, we have a society which fears getting old, right? Saying कौन ख्याल रखेगा, तुमको इसी दिन के लिए पाल पोस के बड़ा किया था क्या? These are all Hindi movie dialogues which actually resonate in our households as well, right? And look, India is not one. India ranges from, you know, the gangs of Wasepur to South Delhi and South Bombay. So to even generalize saying everything is same is, but let me share a few anecdotes, right? I was in healthcare and I had conversations. So my belief is we are a little sort of dual as a society in terms of what we do and what we speak, right, with seniors, and that should change. So in a hospital, if a child comes and the child is unwell, the dialogue is, आप कितना भी खर्चा हो टेंशन मत लीजिए, कुछ भी करना कर लीजिए. I've had seen conversations, I've heard, you know, hospital walls hear more prayers than temples, right? And I have conversations where they say that, अच्छा जॉइंट रिप्लेसमेंट है तो इतने का लगाने की क्या ज़रूरत है, 15 साल ही तो बचे हैं, तो आप देख लीजिए क्या लगाना है, राइट? और फिर वो पैर छू के लड़का निकल जाएगा उसके बाद माँ बाप के. सो आई थिंक द रियल सक्सेस of all of us sitting in this room is to neither treat them as a responsibility nor as a burden, but treat them as people who are entering probably the best phase of their life which they deserve to be, after having lived multiple responsibilities maybe as a son, a daughter, a parent, a husband, a mother, whatever, right? So retirement should be golden. First of all, choice to retire or not retire should be with the person, not by age. Right? What constitutes employment should be defined by whether you go to a 9 to 5 job or no, right? It is all individual choices. I think liberating choices, making choices happen which they decide how they want to live their lives, and just focusing on that will be truly path breaking. We should not patronize, right? We should create a ecosystem which they can leverage to live the life to the fullest. So it's sometimes said, no, the youth is wasted on the young and the wisdom on the old age. Both are wasted at some level because, but it need not be that way, right? And I think whether it is a healthcare provider should provide choices, right? Not provide prescriptions and definitive solutions saying आपके लिए ये अच्छा है, आप ये करो, आपकी उम्र में यही करना चाहिए. What is आपकी उम्र? I have seen many young 80-year-olds and very old 20-year-olds, right? वो जज्बा होता है अंदर, वो उम्र नहीं होती, right? Everybody who's, and I think we should take away the guilt from our seniors from spending. आज भी my father does not take a taxi. He says 800 रुपये की टैक्सी है, मैं सोच रहा हूँ लो कि नहीं लो. आज भी he has the money. It's his own money, actually not my money also, right? But he still cannot escape that guilt of spending because he grew up like that. I think liberating people, like for example, there's such a large industry which says how to create a retirement corpus and an estate. I think there should be an industry which says how to spend all your money before you die, right? क्योंकि पूत कपूत तो क्या धन संचय, पूत सपूत तो क्या धन संचय, right? That's a Hindi saying which I can translate later, but I genuinely think we need to get out of this mindset of we are doing a favor. We are doing something because you need to, nobody else will help you. To treating them as true consumers. Because the good part, you know, one thing I like about America is everybody is a consumer. And that, there are many ills in that country. But the one thing which liberates truly is then everybody has a choice. I think we should all be in the business of creating choices. Right? And if you do that, this forum and subsequent ones will have lived their purpose and probably entered the new India which we all are entering, and our seniors also deserve that environment and empowerment, and not our neither our patronizing attitude. Of course, our respect, which every individual deserves, whether senior or junior or child, right? And neither us doing things because we are social sector, NGO, etc. Let it be for profit, no problem. I don't think there is any dilemma there. As long as it creates choices, creates a better life, creates the ability for them to live probably what we keep saying, but it is often not, the best period of their lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kapoor, for sharing your thoughts with us. We quickly take this moment to thank our knowledge partner, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Thank you so much for being the knowledge partner for the Asli Aging Fest. And may I request Dr. Rana Mehta from PricewaterhouseCoopers to kindly present a memento to our honorary jury, Mr. Rohit Kapoor. A huge round of applause for our juries, and requesting Dr. Mehta to kindly present the memento to our honorary jury, Mr. Rohit Kapoor. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we conclude Shark League. A huge round of applause for all our presenters and our jury.